Number 9.
Dre'Mont Jones, he was number 1 on the list last year, and he's fallen all the way to number 9, like a Casey Kasem top 40 countdown. Tough news. I'm sure Dre is going to be upset about this. But last year, he was brand new. Last year, he was the guy the Seahawks had spent a ton of money on in the offseason. I think more money than they'd spent on any other player free agency-wise that I could remember, maybe in the history of the franchise. And as you sit here today, last year was okay. Wasn't great. I don't think he lived up to that investment last year. And right from the beginning, I think you and I both had concerns about his size and build for what it is they said they wanted to do with him. Well, fast forward a year, and we got to see a little bit after Chenna went down last season. He's lost a little bit of weight. There's a lot more conversation about him playing more on the edge and doing more versatile things to take advantage of his body type. And so how will they use this incredibly intriguing player this year? That's why he's still in the top 10, because he has the ability to be a complete game changer for them, but we never really saw that last season the way we expected to.
4.5 sacks a year ago?
Yeah, I'd like to see more than that.
Yep. I think he would like to see more than that. I think he'd like to have more bites at the apple, more opportunity. First time you and I saw him, I think we both had the same thought. That looks like a little bigger Frank Clark. And how is that guy going to stop the run? Remember, that was the whole
inside
emphasis.
Not on the edge, but inside.
That's right. That was the whole conversation coming off of a 2022 season in a rush defense that was one of the worst in football. Like, okay, what are they going to do? Well, they bring back Bobby Wagner and they bring in Dre Jones. And as you said, spend on him in wave 1, phase 1 of free agency, which is just not something John and Pete had ever really done. But desperate times called for desperate measures. Out went LJ Collier, out went Poona Ford, out went Al Woods, out went some guys that just frankly, couldn't produce, couldn't play. And in came Dre in a big way. And I felt from day one a little bit of a tweener. He doesn't really have the build to be a run-stuffing defensive tackle. And at 280 pounds, I don't know if there's the twitchiness there to be a real elite, edgy pass rusher. So just kind of a tweener. But you know what this system should be built for? A whole lot better, Salk? Tweeners. Move them up and down the line. Slide them up and down the line. You're still chuckling. What? What now? What did Passon do now?
Well, first of all, Passon unblocked me, so I'm safe. Thank God.
Good. Okay.
But Divish is trying to get in on this and says, in protest of Salk attacking my buddy Jeff, I think we better go with hashtag block Salk. Please do the same, Adam Jude, Shannon Dreyer, Daniel Kramer. Jeez, here I am trying to give those guys, some love.
Right.
Shannon couldn't block me, could she? She would never. Sorry.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about.
Talk to her like you just talked to Jeff. She would.
Right.
I would never talk to Shannon that way. I have too much respect for her.
Speaking of blocking, are they going to be able to block Dre Jones this year? So that'll be the question.
Anyway, he is number 9, the most intriguing. Brock, if Dre Jones is great this year, what would it do for this defense?
If he's great?
Yeah. If he's everything that they thought he would be.
Yeah, if he is great, I think his ceiling, if he's great, is 8 sacks. I think he'd be an 8-sack guy.
Yeah.
And frankly, you know what else he feels like to me? I would feel like you would see Dre Jones for the Baltimore Ravens have 8 sacks. He just kind of feels like a guy that you could see there just being a violent, physical dude with the Ravens way, just playing that kind of ball. Like, I could actually easily have seen him over the years back there in Baltimore just wreaking havoc and doing damage and just being a physical stud. So yeah, I think if he's great, he's an 8-sack guy.